Hello and welcome to the Hail Mary Joe 2 TD Scorer Shows. My name's Jose. I'm your host. I'm just going to do a quick review. On Thursday, we had two players. We had Dallas Goedert for two TDs, and we had TJ Hawkinson for two TDs, and we had a single game parlay for them both for two TDs. I spent $1 on each. The only one that came through was TJ Hawkinson. He got us two TDs at 23 to 1. I spent $3, so we made $20 on the night. So remember, none of this is financial advice, okay? It's only what I am doing, okay? I'm talking about my bets and only my bets. You know, when it comes to gambling, the golden rule for gambling is if you can't afford to lose it, don't bet it, okay? So we're going to go with the 3 tickets, 5 players, 50 cents on the singles, 50 cents on the doubles, and 50 cents on the triples. Okay, I'm not playing the 4s. I'm not playing the 5s. So the first ticket's got Mike Evans, 2 TDs, paying 13 to 1. Okay, Mike Evans for Tampa showed 84% of the snap count. He was 6 for 10 for 66 yards, 1 TD. He also got the most targets. I think him and Baker could be developing a love relationship. He's getting the looks, and you know what? He is the number 1 receiver for Tampa. So yeah, I got to do it again for 2 TDs, especially at that price. Calvin Ridley for Jacksonville's the next guy, 2 TDs at 15 to 1. Ridley was 81% of the snap counts, 8 for 11, 101. He got 1 TD. He also had the most targets, so with that in mind, I expect him to get the most targets again in week 2. The next guy is another wide receiver 1 who also had the most targets for his team was Keenan Allen. LA Chargers, 2 TDs at 12 to 1. Keenan was out there for 91% of the snap counts. He was 6 for 9 for 76 yards and didn't get any TDs. So, you know what? Good possibility he gets 1 or 2 this week. The next guy is Brandon Aiyuk. Now, Brandon Aiyuk for San Francisco is paying for 2 TDs 11 to 1. Brandon Aiyuk got 2 TDs last week. He was wide open. He was 8 for 8 for 129 yards. I normally will not bet a player that already had 2 TDs the week before, but Brandon Aiyuk, I have to. He was just too open. He was all over the field, and he was getting the looks, and he had a great catch rate, 100%. I mean, you can't beat that with 85% of the snap count. So the last guy is a bit of a revenge game for me. Sammy Perrine for Denver. He was, and I'll explain it. He's a revenge game. Washington used to be his team. He was 45% of the snap counts on all run plays. But so was Devontae Williams. So they both shared it. As for catch rates, Devontae was 1 for 4. Sammy was 4 for 4. Devontae had 1 yard. Sammy had 37 yards. Sammy had more run yards than run per yard carry than Devontae, and he had more yards after catch per carry, or yards at catch per carry. So, I like Sammy. It's a revenge game. The coach there, he could easily put him in just to have that revenge aspect because he knows where he came from, and it's not surprising from that coach at all. So, ticket number 2, I have Pat Freiermuth. Okay, I hopefully said it right this time. I had a few complaints saying that I've been pronouncing some names wrong. I will apologize to the players and to you because that's me. Unfortunately, it's a bad habit that I have. I'm trying to break out of it, and I am going to do my best. So, Pat Freiermuth, Pittsburgh, 2 TDs, 26 to 1. Pat was out there for 51% of the offensive snap counts, but he got the only Pittsburgh touchdown, and he would have had the only second Pittsburgh touchdown if he hadn't dropped the ball. He was 1 for 4 for 34 yards. There's no Deontay Johnson this week. He's going to get the looks in the red zone. He's the guy that I have faith in for this week. The next guy is Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry from New England, 2 TDs at 19 to 1. Now, Hunter Henry did get 1 TD in the first game, so I'm not too worried about that, but that just shows the connection that him and Mac have. So, he was 79% of the offensive counts. He was 5 for 6 for 56 yards with 1 TD. He had the most looks with the red zones as regards to the TDs, and he is getting options. Now, not only that, there could be a wide receiver for New England that could be out, so you got to keep an eye on that, which helps his stock even more. So the next guy I have is for Dallas, Jake Ferguson, trying him again, 2 TDs, 31 to 1. Jake was 79% of the offensive counts. He was 2 for 7. That's not great, but it was his first game too. And, so he got 11 yards, narrow TDs, but he also had the most targets. So, if he's going to get targets, I can assure you, if he goes 5 for 7 this week, yeah, he'll be getting a lot of looks again. And you know what? He's got the, opportunity for the red zone to score points, because I believe in him. What can I tell you? The next guy is Darren Waller for New York Giants. Darren Waller is paying 2 TDs at 17 to 1. He was on there for 50% of the snap counts. He was 3 for 5 for 3 for 36 yards. I do apologize. And he was tied for the number 1 in targets for the New York Giants. So, you know what? He's going to get targets in the red zone. I'm going to try him again. With these 2 TD players, sometimes you have to go back to back because sometimes you're a week early or, and it just varies. You were off. They had a bad game. They're going to come back strong the next week, so that's always the chance with 2 TDs. They're not easy bets. Trust me. Zay Flower for Baltimore is my second guy for 2 TDs, paying 26 to 1 for the wide receiver 1 on that team. Yeah, that makes a lot. He's got the number 1 targets. He was 84% of the snap count. He was 2 for 9 yards on a run play, and he caught 9 for 10 for 78 yards. He's the number 1 wide receiver in Baltimore. I trust him. And you know what? He's going to be a rookie to watch out for. He's got great potential and possibilities for this week. So, ticket number 3. We have another 5 players. So, here we go. We've got Robert Woods for Houston. And Robert Woods is paying 34 to 1 for Houston. Now, there's a toss-up between Nico Collins and Robert Woods. I like Woods. Yeah, Nico had a bit more percentage-wise, but catch rate and everything else, he was second in targets. I like him. He's a possession receiver, and he's going to get opportunities. He was 6 for 10 for 57 yards, and he had the second most targets between Nico Collins and stuff. But I do like Robert Woods. I'm sticking with him. Now, this other player, like Brandon Ayuk, is going to be a double repeat guy. I'm taking this guy, Tyler Algier, because from Atlanta for 2 touchdowns, because Atlanta is a run team. They're going to be a run team till they get stopped, and they're going to force their quarterback to start throwing. It's not in the game plan for them. So he was the goal line back. I know Bijan Robinson is there. Maybe he'll get some opportunities or not, but Tyler handled the duties very well. I mean, he had 15 runs for 75 yards. He had 3 for 3 catches for 9 yards. He seems to be the goal line back. I got to go with that. I really do. I hate to say it, but it's what I'm going to do, And then the next guy is Sam Laporta, 2 TDs at 17 to 1. He was on the field for 83% of the offensive snap counts. He was 8 for 10 for 112 yards. No TDs, but he's the number 1 tight end, number 1 in looks. So I'm going with him. He looked great. He really did for a rookie tight end. He looked awesome. So then we have Chris Olave for New Orleans, 2 TDs at 15 to 1. Chris Olave was 78% of the offensive snap counts. He was 8 for 10 for 112 yards, no TDs. He's getting the number 1 looks. He's getting the number 1 chances. He's going to have an opportunity, and I'm going to trust him again. So the last guy I have is Davante Adams for Las Vegas Raiders. He is playing 2 TDs for 10. You normally don't get that rate at Davante. He paid 90% of the snap counts. He was 6 for 9 for 66 yards, 0 TDs. Jacoby Myers, who scored the 2 TDs for Raiders last week, he's in concussion protocol, which just is going to make sure that Davante gets them looks. And Garoppolo can throw it. He's not the greatest quarterback in the world, but he's good. He's good. So I suspect Davante Adams to turn around and do his best and get us 2. So there's the 3 tickets, 5 players. Enjoy the game. Gamble responsible. If you can't afford to lose it, don't bet it. And please, 2 TDs, here we come. Have a great time. Enjoy the game and have fun.